Hello, welcome to the Blue Corner. My name is Dennis, and it's time for my July 2022 collection update video. Yes, we're almost up to date now. Hopefully, that'll still be the case by the time you see this. But this time, I got a little stack of DVDs to start off with. Yes, DVDs. In this day and age, you really can't be a format snob. There's still plenty of movies that don't have a Blu-ray or 4K, and looking at these titles, I highly doubt we'll ever get a Blu-ray or 4K of any of these titles. So let's just go straight into it. No Tomorrow, Gary Daniels. They don't really remember the movie all that much. Heck, I didn't even know this had a Danish title or release on DVD or any format at all. So yeah, I just decided I wanted more of the old school Gary Daniels movies, and this was one of them. Same case here. Recoil, Gary Daniels. Not one of my favorite Gary Daniels movies. Again, Gary Daniels, martial artists, you expect him to fight a bunch, and that's not really the case in this one. So, but the good thing is that even though the movie isn't one of my favorite movies, being on DVD, they are extremely cheap, so worth it. More Gary Daniels in Rage. Fun, action-packed martial arts movie, I guess. This one has always been one of my go-to Gary Daniels movies. This one and White Tiger. I really want White Tiger. I do know that has a American DVD release that might be a bit hard to find today. And that's another one I forgot the name of now. I'll have to look up and look for. But yeah, Rage. Mark Dacascos in Sanctuary. This is a Danish edition. Much like the first No Tomorrow, I did not know this had a Danish release at all. And again, no Blu-ray. Mark Dacascos. I want to try to rebuild my Dacascos collection again, even though most will have to be on DVD. Again, much like Recoil, not one of Mark's best movies, but I kind of enjoyed it. It's not a martial arts filled movie. If you can get over that fact, then it's an okay watch. Instinct to Kill, more Mark Dacascos. This one I have had before, but back when I started collecting Blu-rays, I sold, I want to say 90% of my DVD collection. I still have a bunch of my cartoons on DVD that I grew up with that's not going anywhere. But most movies I sold when I started collecting Blu-rays, so I'm rebuying some here again, and this is the case here. Not the Kadeem Hardison and Mark Dacascos team up that we normally talk about. Drive. Drive. Nowhere near as good as Drive, but still entertaining enough. And then London, one of the very few Jason Statham movies that still doesn't have a Blu-ray. This one and Mean Machine. I think that's about it. At least where he has a bigger role. I don't know why. And this one is 2006. He had made other movies that was bigger when this one came out. So I don't know why this doesn't have a Blu-ray yet. And let's see, it is Sony. So maybe in the future. On to Blu-rays. A bunch of Danish titles. Again, picking them up again to build the collection. And a bunch of them are Bruce Willis movies. Now, it's been no secret that Bruce Willis is my favorite actor of all time. And I have had a bunch of these movies before, but I stopped collecting as many physical movies and decided that I wasn't just gonna get everything from one actor, and I got rid of a bunch of even Bruce Willis movies that I didn't care that much for, and here I am buying them again. So but first up, Death Becomes Her. I've never really been that big a fan of this movie. There's plenty of people that really enjoyed this movie, but to me, this is towards the bottom of Bruce Willis, old school Bruce Willis movies, not including his newer ones, because you all know they're not that great even before seeing them. But yeah, I get Bruce is great in this one, but I just never cared all that much for it. Lady favorite. Don't remember all that much from it. There's a reason why I sold them, so. Dr. Casper. Again, not the lead. And I, much like Death Becomes Her, I didn't care all that much for this movie. And that's probably still the case. Trauma Center. First time owning it on physical. Not a great movie. I can say that for a bunch of these movies. Still not one of the worst that he's done in the last 10-15 years. Hard Kill. Not a good movie. He barely stands in this one. And he's not even in some of these movies all that much. But again, Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis. Out of Death. "10 Minutes Gone." I hate having to sit here pretty much bashing these movies. But there's just no way you can sit here and say that this is great movie content. Reprisal. Frank Grillo. I've actually enjoyed quite a few of the low-budget action movies Frank Grillo has put out recently, and this one is okay. Midnight in the Switchgrass. And the latest at the point of recording this, A Day to Die. It's Bruce Willis. Let's see. Continue with the Danish titles first. Final score. Batista. A better Sudden Death remake than Welcome to Sudden Death. I'll say that much. I quite enjoyed this one. This was a fun action movie. I don't know why people didn't talk more about this when it came out than they did. But again, low budget action, well, I guess they did put some money into it. But I quite enjoyed this one. Max Cloud. Scott Adkins. Silly. Stupid. Weird. But somehow Scott Adkins playing a computer game character inside a video game just had me laughing. And it's not one that you should go out of your way to watch, but if you're bored one day, want some Scott Adkins nonsense, check that one out. Revolver, more Jason Statham for the collection. Almost have all most of his movies, I guess. I'm still missing Spy, where well he's not the lead in that one, and I guess he's in Collateral too. And yeah, I do believe I'm pretty close to having them all. But yeah, brilliant. Revolver, Luc Besson present. I don't believe he. Ah, no. Guy Ritchie. That Guy Ritchie. I do really like Guy Ritchie's movies. So I need to get around to rewatching that one again. Maggie? Extremely cheap. Brand new. I didn't even pay $1 for this. So, not my favorite zombie movie. And it is weird seeing Arnold in a zombie movie. But it's still. I can rewatch it. And from Germany, I picked up Kickboxer 5. I was just playing around on Amazon Germany, and this one popped up. I bought Kickboxer 4 from the same line, and I didn't know that they had actually put out Kickboxer 5 too. And this one has been one I've been after for quite some time. Just sucks it has to be a German release. But we won't get into that right now. So I had to get this, and it's not the best Kickboxer movie, but I do really want the complete Kickboxer line. We do have, let's see, we're missing Kickboxer 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. Then all of them have been out one way or another. I would like a big box set with all 7, I guess there is now, or at least proper single edition releases. And Mark Dacascos, it's going in the collection. Dead Man on Campus. Now, back when DVD came out, myself and a friend of mine each bought a Blu-ray player at the same place. I bought the Matrix came with the Blu-ray or DVD player, and there's another Dudley Do Right with Brendan Fraser. It was a region-free DVD player, so I had a US edition of Dudley Do Right. Terrible movie that came with, or I bought with the DVD player. But my friend got The Matrix and Dead Man on Campus. We didn't know Dudley Do Right, and we didn't know Dead Man on Campus, but we both highly enjoyed Dead Man on Campus back then. So I had known about this being out on Blu-ray for a bit. This is a MOD, Mastered on Demand, I guess. I do believe that's what it stands for. But it is a pressed disc, so it's not burned on demand. So I did want to give this one a rewatch to see if it held it up. And yeah, no, it didn't. I can easily put it on again, rewatching it. It's a fun movie, but it's nowhere near as good a time as I had with it way back then. So, yeah. Another one where it doesn't hold up to the memories you have of it, sadly. But I just really wanted to see it again. Moving on to 88 films, I picked up Marshall Club, Gun Lu, Shaw Brothers, Asia Collection number 34. I really enjoyed this one. Wong Fei-hung movies. I really enjoy most Wong Fei-hung movies. I do go out of my way sometimes to see the movie if I know it's about Wong Fei-hung, like many people do today with Ip Man, myself included. So when I was or when I saw this one was about Wong Fei Hong. Ooh, yeah, that's coming home with me. And yeah, I really did enjoy this one. The whole lion dance thing isn't really my cup of tea. So when it started out with a pretty big sequence or long sequence of lion dances, but when they got over that and the movie really started, I really enjoyed this one, and I'm glad I got this in the collection. Another proof that Gordon Liu movies is something I need to look more into. At the same time, I picked up Black Cat. Had been out for a while. It wasn't in a rush to pick it up when it came out, and it is the deluxe edition. And apparently, I did get one of the last, if not the last, deluxe edition, because the day after mine was shipped, they posted the standard edition of this. So I guess, well, I won't say lucky. I don't need the big deluxe editions. I won't complain about getting them, but I don't need them. Again, I was never in a rush to pick this one up. It's a good movie. I have seen better. La Femme Nikita. It is a La Femme Nikita ripoff. I like Nikita way more, but it's worth having in the collection. And I do wish we get the sequel too. And I picked up Black Cat with Marshall Club to justify the shipping. And more 88 films. I picked up The Seventh Curse. Now, I had originally planned getting this and Marshall Club together, but the release date was not the same. So I split it up into two orders, hence why I got Black Cat. And the next edition you'll see. But Seventh Curse was another first time watch bonkers movie. But I had a blast with this one. This is such a fun movie. I just couldn't stop laughing. The complete silliness of this movie is just Ricky-O. I do believe it was the same director as Ricky-O. So I guess that kind of tells you what kind of line or what kind of movie you can expect. But I'm not gonna dive too much into this movie. There's some pictures I probably shouldn't show on YouTube. But yeah, if you're into Hong Kong cinema and you haven't seen that one, give it a go. And then in that same order, I picked up Species, a collection. Much like Black Cat, I was never in a rush to pick this one up. Heck, I didn't even plan on picking this one up. It's not a must stay in the collection item for me. So, yeah, it's not. I do enjoy I can easily watch the first two, but it's not a great franchise in my book. And I was even thinking about just picking up the Scream Factory 4K of the first one. And here I am showing off the box sets. So, who knows if I'll ever get the 4K. Don't be surprised if you see it in the collection one day. I can't justify it. Let's move on to the 4Ks. I got 6 of them in this go around. First, I picked up the Men in Black trilogy. I'm a Will Smith fan. I've said it before, and I do really like the first Men in Black movie. I did think about just getting that one, but again, get one, you have to get them all, I guess. So, and I previously picked up the fourth one cheap here in Denmark, so I wasn't just gonna pick up 1 and 4. So I picked up this combo pack. Transporter 3 4K. Recently picked up 1 and 2. Knew this had a 4K, so had to get the 4K. Great franchise. Mechanic Resurrection. Technically, I did pick a 6-movie collection of Jason Statham where this wasn't included into, but that's 4K. I'm gonna pick it up. The Mechanic 2, I actually quite enjoy that way more than the first one. A little Stallone and Schwarzenegger in Escape Plan. First one, I recently picked up 2 and 3 on Blu-ray. Knew the first one had a 4K, so picked up the 4K. Good movie. The sequels, I can take or leave them. Cabin in the Woods. Another case of me having this. Well, technically that's the case with Escape Plan 2. Had the steelbook, sold it, had to get the standard edition. Great movie. I highly enjoy this movie, and I kind of want to say yes and no to hoping there's a sequel eventually. I don't really know what they would do, but no, I don't want a sequel. Don't spoil it. Let it be its own movie. You don't need a ton of sequels all the time. So, Cabin in the Woods, great movie. Surprised I still got slipcovers with these editions, being that they are not new editions. And then finally, I picked up The Punisher, Thomas Jane, John Travolta. My least favorite Punisher movie. I like the movie, but as I said, it's my least favorite movie. As silly as it might be, Dolph Lundgren is still my Punisher. I grew up watching that movie quite a bit, so I have way too many fond memories of that one to not enjoy that the most. And then, movie-wise, I'll say Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, Warzone, and then this. I was never a big fan of Thomas Jane walking up to the police station in broad daylight, announcing that he was still alive. Much like I didn't like Iron Man or Tony Stark announcing that he was Iron Man at the end of the first Iron Man movie. I don't like those two scenes in those two movies. So this one took a big dive on my list when he walked up those stairs. But there's still some great action sequences in this one, and I already had Warzone. I forgot the name now. It is Warzone, isn't it? It has to be Warzone. So yeah, I had Warzone, and figured I had to get this one too. This one came with slipcover. Sadly, Warzone didn't. Yeah, OCD. So, that's it. My July 2022 collection update video. And with that, thanks for watching. Until next time, peace out.